What's good, people? Today we are back with new episode of the Mega Review. Why is that? Cause I got nothing to do. Nothing has floated in nearly every category, from the OWS to TWS to headphones. They are even already feeling every price in TWS. So my question is, which one are truly worth buying? This time, we are analyzing the Nothing family purely from the value for money perspective. Well, if they're not worth you cash in the end, I will give you a real value pick. Absolutely unmissable in its price range. Hit the bell, follow me on YouTube. I've got a lot more ongoing audio review to drop. Any model you want me to test? Drop a comment down below. This is Yugi. Grab a drink, buckle up. Let's get started. First, let me lay out my entire Nothing collection, sorted from the lowest to the highest price. CMF&Buds 2A, CMF&Buds 2, CMF&Buds Pro 2, CMF&Buds 2 Plus, Nothing Year A, and the CMF Headphone Pro, Nothing Year 3. This time, I will compare each model against market-proven competitors in the same price. You might notice some rivals are around the $10 higher or lower than the Nothing's offering. Let me stress up front. This isn't about spoiling Nothing. I will explain at the end of this video. This review will focus on the sound quality, ANC, transparency modes, and the core clarity. And I can give you a little spoiler. Regardless of the price point, the Nothing series falls short as a primary device. However, its pricing, design, aesthetics, and innovative features make it an excellent backup option. Perfect for meetings, indoor office use, and similar scenarios. Let's begin. Round 1. The CMF&Buds 2A versus the Soundcore P30i. Objectively speaking, the Buds 2A's sound quality isn't bad. Mid-range vocals feels close and well-defined with a useful sound signature and preserves sibilance details nicely. The treble, however, fits a bit thin and are difficult to solve with custom EQ. For bass, I recommend disabling the dynamic bass feature entirely. This preserves the overall granularity and the dynamic of kick drums. Since the custom EQ is essentially design and limit of the drivers, obviously boosting treble by the 3 dB actually cuts other frequencies by 3 dB. Therefore, I think stick with the direct modes and tuning of the dynamic bass are the best listening experience. When compared to the Soundcore P30i though, the Buds 2A's soundstage feels like a hamburger missing its sauce. It feels like something always missing. The key difference is the ambience. The Soundcore P30i delivers incredibly rich bass, yet its sound feels damped and warm, reminds me of misty steam in the bathroom. It offers an extremely enveloping soundstage with a slightly husky high end that's perfectly balanced. Vocals are slightly masked yet retain impressive performance within this atmospheric framework, evenly distributes your attention. In contrast, while the Buds 2A's vocals are refined, they often feel detached. Thus, from a music listening perspective, the P30i's enduring popularity is well-deserved. Now, let's dive into the sample tracks for the direct experience. Another advantage is that the P30i has a greater tuning potential. After my adjustment below, it achieved greater clarity. I'm pretty confident that P30i can price $5 more after my tuning. For ANC, the P30i's performance is slightly better than the Buds 2A. Both struggle with mid-frequency suppression, differing mainly in the low-frequency handling. However, the trade-off is the noticeable ear pressure from the P30i's noise cancellation, but it has wing noise reduction mode, but it doesn't work at all. Let's directly compare them through the sample as well. In transparency mode, the Buds 2A sounds more natural with almost no reverse noise amplification. The P30i, however, sounds noticeably louder, unnecessarily amplifying many high-frequency noises. Next, the call quality test.
This is Soundcore P30i call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. This is CMF Buds 2A call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Overall, the P30i outperforms the Buds 2A in nearly every aspect, especially call quality, where the Buds 2A is barely unusable. So, unless you're more focusing on the transparency mode experience, I definitely recommend choosing the P30i. Next is the CMF Buds 2. Totally trash. Alright, case closed. Next! Just kidding. But to be honest, there's so many great options in this price range. For instance, one of my obviously favorites in the budget segment is the QCY melobuds Pro. Recently, my friends have been raving about the QCY N70, claiming it's even better than the melobuds Pro. If you want me to review the QCY N70, let me know in the comments. Back to the topic. The CMF Buds 2 embodied Nothing's sound signature for a while now. Super heavy bass. Even if you turn off its ultra-dynamic bass mode, the low-frequency density remains ridiculously high. While its bass is actually decent, not overly thick or muddy, offering a bouncy, energetic punch, let's be honest, it's fine for EDM, but it can be disaster for any live instrument recording. Listening to Chen Xianjing's Whisper to My Ear, you will find the bass unnecessarily pounding your ear canal, tuning a relaxed, pleasant sound unbearable. Worse, it consistently interrupts your focus on vocals while the highs are nearly inaudible. In this scenario, it's easy win for the QCY melobuds Pro. Whether it's resolution, high-frequency clarity, low-frequency control, vocal texture, or even the atmosphere, it's flawless across the board. The EQ adjustments on the Buds 2 are equally pointless, while the QCY offers a huge tuning potential. If you are enjoying crafting your own sound, go straight for the melobuds Pro. Even if you don't know how to tweak, you will cover with at least 9 presets for you to choose. And I also created my own custom settings that delivers full immersion. Let's dive straight into the sample comparison. Just when I thought QCY would dominate these rounds, what I expect is the CMF Buds 2's ANC proved noticeably superior to the QCY melobuds Pro. The melobuds Pro's low-frequency noise reduction is passable, but it causes slightly ear pressure and exhibits reverse noise amplification in the mid to high frequencies, especially on the subway, almost like using transparency mode. The CMF Buds 2, however, effectively suppress noise across entire frequency range. While their performance is around average, I'd say it's good enough. Let's use a sample to experience this directly.
ANC on.
For transparency mode, QCY holds a slight edge. Thanks to its powerful app functionality, you can manually adjust the transparency intensity to achieve your preferred balance. Meanwhile, the Buds 2 maintain the natural sound signature of the 2A models. Next is the call quality testing.
This is CMF Buds 2 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. This is QCY melobuds Pro call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Had QCY's noise cancellation not been noticeably sharper, this round will have been a foregone conclusion. For audio quality alone, QCY is a clear winner. But when judging by the ANC performance, sorry, I don't think the Buds 2 is above the average either. So are there any earbuds in this price range that deliver both ANC and sound quality? Of course it does. Leave a comment down below, let me know you guys want a detailed review comparing earbuds in the $50 price range. The CMF Buds Pro 2. My followers will know I previously praised its independent charging case remote control feature. Yeah, I only give it in C grade rating. Especially it's because the Buds Pro 2 basically copies the Buds 2's issue of the excessive bass. The Buds Pro 2 feels like a sharper version of the OnePlus Buds 4. It can even deliver the proper ambient sound. The high frequencies feels almost doesn't exist, drowned out by the aggressive bass. It's like singing in a room packed with elephants. You are not alone, I'm here with you. And you're trying to make yourself heard between their massive bodies. But when you forcibly cut the bass, you can actually detect a kind of information loss in the music. Like the elephants have left the room, yet you still notice the footprints they left on the floor. If you compare to the more affordable earfree i5, it's totally failure in the sound quality. Unfortunately, there are few people can own both pair like me, so it's really hard to describe the relief I felt when switching back to the earfree i5. It's almost like my ear have been left with elephant footprints, but i5 let them breathe again. Bright and clear. Bass reproduction with just the right punch. Mid-range vocals with depth, rich detail, and distinct layering. The guitar sits slightly below the vocals, while the synth tone hover above them. Clearly and distinct. The highs, needless to say, are exceptional natural. The earfree i5 truly stands as a benchmark for neutral, high-fidelity sound quality in its price range. Although the results speak for themselves, let's still try the samples to help you understand it better. Regarding the ANC, the Buds Pro 2 and earfree i5 are closely matched. Buds Pro 2 offers a slightly better high-frequency suppression, while the earfree i5 excels at the low-frequency reduction. Neither cause the ear pressure. Here is the sample. Here is the sample. In the transparency mode, the earfree i5 filters out more ambient noise without introducing reverse noise amplification. The Buds Pro 2 maintains a series signature natural vibe but retains a more high-frequency noise. Next is the call quality test.
This is CMF Buds Pro 2 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. This is Roseselsa earfree i5 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Including the call quality, the earfree i5 outperforms the Buds Pro 2 across all product metrics. Therefore, if you can accept its equally cool metal casing, the earfree i5 is a clear choice. The CMF Buds 2 Plus, as a latest addition to the CMF series in 2025, truly embodies the brand's technological evolution. With the DMS involvement in tuning, the sound has become significantly more balanced, at least retuning to the neutral listening experience. Bass response is now wider and less aggressive, effectively controlling excessive impact while the vocals regain their delicate nuance. The downside is that the treble remains somewhat harsh, but we can now finally call that a style rather than a flaw. While the Realme F7 isn't as cost-effective as the Oppo Enco 4 on AliExpress, its sound quality advantage over the CMF Buds 2 Plus is quite noticeable. While they both share a warm sound character, but the Ear 7 delivers a clearer, more defined bass with better shape. Its mids feels more intimate and highs possess a greater presence. The result is a superior atmosphere and dynamic impact. Listening to the sample and you understand what I mean. As for the EQ, I can only say no wonder I loved Air 7's sound that much. After about 10 minutes of tweaking, I end up getting a tuning that almost same with the default sound. Regarding the ANC, to be honest, the Buds 2 Plus noise cancellation isn't bad. Its depth is actually sufficient. Unfortunately, the Air 7's noise cancellation has a wilder range. Take the subway as an example. Both can significantly suppress the friction noise from the train and tracks, but Air 7 just lets you barely hear the door opening or closing. Aside from announcements and the train alert, it's almost completely silent. Now, onto the sample time. In transparency mode, the gap between the two is negligible. Both perform exceptionally well. Personally, I found the Buds 2 Plus to feel slightly more natural, but AS7 has an encased vocal mode, so I'd call it a draw. Finally, the call quality test.
This is CMF Buds 2 Plus call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. This is Realme Buds Air 7 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
At this price point, the gap between the Nothing and other products isn't as pronounced as before. It's more a matter of subjective preference than the objective good or bad. Therefore, my conclusion is, if you are basshead, the CMF Buds 2 Plus is perfect for you. And if you prefer the dynamic performance and high-frequency clarity, Realme S7 is the way to go. That covers the CMF series. Next, we were moving on to the Nothing Year series, which Nothing proud of. First up is the Nothing Year A. While its design is quite eye-catching, but the Year A overall experience actually very conservative. It lacks flashy features that Nothing normally do. If you compare to other Nothing series earbuds, this one offers a particularly poor value for money. You see, one intriguing point of the Nothing lineup is how their products reflect shifts in the company's mindset. Early models radiate confidence, aiming to conquer the market with a heavy, thunderous bass.
We found incredible partners including
Thunderous bass. Thunderous bass. Thunderous bass.
And then, facing the criticism, the Nothing Year A emerged during this transitional phase.
To be optimistic.
All distinctive trials were top-down, reverting to a sound profile like the manufacturer's default sound. More accurate, but it doesn't sound good. Especially the treble still maintains dark. I even had to open the dynamic bass feature to compensate for the dull, uninspiring listening experience. And they've even rebranded this feature, calling it low-key bass enhancement instead of ultra-dynamic bass. And now let's pulling out the OnePlus Buds 4 from the Peiyu's former company. Although I've discussed its issue in many other videos, since the identical ankle-free 4 sells for just $70 or less on AliExpress, though my main complaint is about its value for money. Well, if you can use AliExpress, I'd say its ideal price for the OnePlus Buds 4 is $89, exactly what the Nothing Year 8 costs. Sound-wise, the OnePlus Buds 4 delivers more powerful bass, creating a distinctly different atmosphere. Compared to the Buds 4, the Nothing Year A feels like being turned away at the nightclub door and having to press your ear against the kitchen back door to hear the music. This said, this also benefits from the OnePlus's traditional EQ, which feels more natural to me. It allows me fully leverage its flagship coaxial dual drivers. Here are my 3 favorite tuning. Regarding ANC, the Nothing A lags behind in both depths and breadths. While it might be respectable for the 2024 standards, but the OnePlus Buds 4 remains among the best in its price range for noise cancellation in 2025. So this outcome doesn't surprise me. Well, let's compare directly to the sample. In transparent mode, both devices slightly amplify the ambient sound. The Nothing Ear A exhibits a faint background hum in this mode, but this disappears entirely when you play anything. Finally is the call quality test.
This is OnePlus Buds 4 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. This is Nothing Ear Type A call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Considering its price, I don't think the Nothing Ear A offers much value for money in 2025. So we return to our original conclusion. If you can get a cheaper Oppo Enco Free 4, just go for the Free 4. Otherwise, choose the OnePlus Buds 4. I'm actually quite confident its price will drop again further soon. Finally, we arrived at the most expensive Nothing product I currently have.
The Nothing Ear 3.
I must say, whether judging by the charging case build quality or the app, the Ear 3 truly lives up to its status as Nothing's flagship earbuds. Compared to all previous models, it feels noticeably heavier, though the earbuds themselves appear to use the similar materials. This is simply because the Ear 3 incorporates a design I thought ridiculous at the first time, but now see as a brilliant idea: the Super Mic. This allows you to use a charging case as a stand-alone microphone, or let me say, a walkie-talkie. That's epic. Sound-wise, the Ear 3 upgrades the Ear A's PMI plus TPU composite diaphragm from an 11mm to a 12mm driver. You can feel the bass is indeed smoother, and the biggest leap is the finally supporting the deeply customizable 10-band EQ. However, I feel the tuning still hasn't fully addressed the high-frequency issues. When I tried boosting the highs through the EQ, the lack of detail remains noticeable. Ultimately, I found the balance presets to be the most suitable solution. Alternatively, you can try the personal sound profile features, which tells you ear to identify and enhancing the missing frequency bands. Overall, the sound of Ear 3 is passable at best, nothing special. Given by its $179 price, I will compare it to a $150 Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 FE, the new goalkeeper in this area. The sound of the Samsung Buds 3 FE and the Samsung Buds 3 can be described as completely different. In-ear Samsung, the best Samsung. Compared to the Buds FE, this generation offers a warmer sound signature with improved driver performance, increased low-frequency quantity, stronger immersion, and enhanced the literal soundstage, like moving from the small bar stage to a live house stage. Instrument separation is higher. Compared to the Ear 3, the Buds 3 FE leans towards phase 4 reproduction. The Ear 3 excels in the high-frequency details and nuance, with vocals slightly more distinct yet still capturing sibilance detail effortlessly. The presets on the Buds 3 FE felt a bit extreme to me. I ended up creating an EQ curve that looks almost like a joke. I know, it's kinda like prank, but it does preserve the balance while enhancing the listening experience. I believe that Nothing is actively positioning its earbuds to a business niche. Take the Ear 3's dedicated super mic, clearly designed for the cause. Regarding the sound quality, their current level is okay, not good nor bad. Regarding the ANC, the noise cancellation depths of the Ear 3 and the Buds 3 FE is quite comparable. However, the Buds 3 FE holds significant advantages in the noise cancellation depths and the algorithm. The most direct manifestation is that the Buds 3 FE's stable noise control, which allows me to immerse myself more easily into the music. In contrast, the Ear 3 occasionally experiences a sudden spike in ambient noise, constantly reminds you of your surroundings. Let's experience this directly through a sample. Regarding the transparency mode, both models delivers outstanding performance compared with all Android ecosystem. The Buds 3 FE's transparency mode excels in both the perceived width of the soundstage and its natural feel. Arguably, is the closest I've heard to Apple's implementation. However, due to its exceptionally tight seal, it can create a slight air pressure sensation like being on the airplane. The Ear 3, while lacking in algorithm, still feels remarkably natural. It's like having cotton plucking in your ear. Lastly, call quality test.
This is Nothing Ear Type 3 call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. This is Samsung Buds 3 FE's call quality test. How does it sound like? Is it good? Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Overall, the Nothing Ear 3 delivers a superior experience. But considering the $30 price per mil over the Buds 3 FE, I don't think it's worth the trade-off.
To be optimistic.
Well, of course, Samsung has its own limitation. Many features only works with Samsung devices, but those aren't critical for me. So although I've been hesitant for a while, but I still recommend the Samsung Buds 3 FE to save you some cash. I must acknowledge that the Nothing must have a professional marketing teams. Like, they recognize their products might struggle against the dedicated audio brands or other phone manufacturers in terms of hardcore features, so they just employ a clever pricing strategy. Their pricing typically lands between two price brackets, so they might fall short against the product costing just a few dollars more, yet hold their own against the cheaper alternatives. Combined with their design excellence, this often positions them as a passable backup option during purchasing decisions, naturally generating the significant budget. But in the end, the success of this strategy hinge on their core capabilities. After all, if a product costs a few dollars more yet delivers significantly better performance, Nothing might remain stuck on the people's wishlist indefinitely. We can also observe Nothing are trying to make sure the differences in each product, creating a new experience and demand. Beyond simply being a cool company, this approach essentially aims to offset the limited progress in the key areas like sound quality within a short timeline. Overall, even though we actually roasted Nothing earbuds quite a lot in this review, we can still see the Nothing's product steadily improve over time. Hope they continue processing. I believe it won't be long before they release a product that satisfies most users. And you might have already caught a glimpse of the CMF&Nothing Pro in our footage. But this episode is already quite too long, so I decided to make a separate review video to the Nothing Pro, comparing to against the Sennheiser 450 Bluetooth and the Sony 720N. So make sure you subscribe my channel so you don't miss the content. That's for today's video. If you like this one, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe this channel. I'm Yugi and this is Mega Review, and I see you next time.